Over in Markham, Tesla designs and builds state-of-the-art manufacturing equipment for its battery assembly lines in gigafactories around the world. And Ontario is the absolute best place for this to be happening. We're so blessed that major deposits of critical minerals and the folks up north are ready to ramp up our mining production to provide what's needed to build these vehicles of the future. We're going to fire this economy up from corner to corner. Nobody will get left behind as we build Ontario for generations to come. We're bringing back manufacturing jobs, we're investing in our workers, and we're supporting our auto industry so it will lead the way for another 100 years. My friends, this is all part of our plan to build Ontario into the greatest place in the world to live and work. And now this is a really good time that my staff gets nervous. They start keeling over, and Jamie from City TV gets all excited because I'm going off script here. This is the best part of the speech. You know, folks, when we took office, we weren't competitive. We heard we weren't competitive from auto sectors from all over the world. There was high taxes, tons of red tape and regulations, high hydro rates. You know, it wasn't competitive. And Vic, you remember that conversation when we went over to the auto show and heard from the executives, things had to change. We did exactly that. We created the environment and the conditions for companies to come here and thrive and prosper and grow. Because we aren't competing against the people down the street any longer. We're competing against our great neighbors, which are our #1 trading partner. We do approximately $1 billion a year in two-way trade. And we're the #1 trading partner to 19 states. We're #2 to 9 other states. So we're an economic powerhouse in North America. Make no mistake about it. But when I was saying, you know, we created the environment and the conditions for companies to thrive, the worst thing the government could ever do is create jobs. But we create the environment, and that's exactly what we did. Under the great leadership of Vic Fedeli and our whole team, we cut $7 billion, with a B, $7 billion of burden off the backs of companies until we make it attractive. And since we did that, every single day, Vic sends me a list of companies coming into our province, and it's absolutely staggering. And I'll give you some examples of the $7 billion. We cut $2.2 billion of WSIB premiums, and that goes right down to the bottom line. And a lot of you employ a lot of people. You've seen that come on. We ended up making sure we cut red tape by regulations to a tune of almost $400 million. And we also cut the education land tax by $450 million. We cut small business taxes by 8.75%. And the accelerated write-offs for capital costs to a tune of $1 billion. Now, folks, that's not a one-time shot of $7 billion. That's $7 billion every single year. That's what makes us competitive. And the hydro rates we reduced by 15%. I called their Minister of Energy the other night and said, look up Ohio's rates. We're more competitive in the Class A rates than Ohio is. And that's the reason we're going to lead North America in critical goods like batteries. I had a conversation with one of the auto sector folks, and I think I mentioned batteries 10 times when I was on the phone. And, you know, I said, I don't understand why you aren't manufacturing batteries here. We have the critical minerals. We have the lithium. We have the graphite. We have the cobalt. We have the nickel. And the people up north, up in Vic's area and all through Northern Ontario, they're excited. So we're going to be the one-stop shop. Not only are we going to make sure that we produce batteries here, but we're going to produce those batteries to go into the vehicles that we're going to sell the world. Sorry, folks. I want to thank each and every one of you. Because it's not about Doug Ford, Vic Fedeli, or the PC party. This is a Team Ontario approach. I don't care about the political stripes. Again, we're an economic powerhouse. We're going to grow the likes of which this province has never seen before. I want to thank each and every one of you. And if you ever need help, I'm going to give you my cell number here. So give me a quick text. So pull out your cell and I'll give them to you. So it's 647-612-3673. Now, Jamie, you're videotaping this, so the whole world has it now. Anyways, not that they don't already, but 647-612-3673, please text me. And if it takes me a few hours to get back to you, or the next day, I will get back to you. And any real urgent matters, I got a 1-800 number, so it's call 1-800, call Vic Fedeli. Okay, thank you, everyone, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's really hard to follow Premier Ford, I got to tell you, but Premier, we want to say thank you to you. You know, this is a Premier that gets it, that gets auto, and we're so excited. I want to say, Flavio, to you, I too am going off script for a moment here. When the pandemic first started, you know, you talk about a call to arms. You were there at the pointy end of that spear, you and many of the companies in this room, but I do want to acknowledge you, Flavio. We always have and we always will. It's got a special part. It's got a special part for all of the companies. You know who you are, but I just wanted to acknowledge it, Flavio. On behalf of the government, I want to thank everybody for doing their part to keep the economy going and to keep our supply chains moving. Thankfully, we're continuing to see signs of economic recovery. In November, employment in Ontario increased by 68,100 jobs, almost all of which were full-time. In fact, we now have nearly 115,000 more people working than did before COVID-19 began in February. We continue to lead the nation in job creation. That really is something, Premier. But there are still challenges ahead. We're seeing a revival of Ontario's auto sector with successes in attracting investment into the province. Investments of a size we have not seen in over 15 years here in the province of Ontario. Last year alone, global automakers announced almost $6 billion in new investments in the province of Ontario. So thank you to all of you for that. Yeah, that is a clap worthy. $6 billion. When the heck does that happen? Ontario's high-quality and innovative auto supply chain is a major reason why our province is a great place to build the cars and trucks of the future. And we know our world-class auto parts sector is key to our value proposition to automakers and companies looking to expand. So thank you for that. Keeping up with those customers' needs of staying ahead of global competition requires ongoing investment in technology and training of our workers. And that's why in 2019, when we launched OAMP, the Ontario Automotive Modernization Program, it came with a $10 million investment back then, if you remember, to help Ontario become a world-leading hub for the future of auto manufacturing. And today it's helping auto parts businesses to become better, stronger, faster by investing in technology adoption and training in lean manufacturing. One of the Premier's very favorite sentences, lean manufacturing. It's been a great success. So far we've distributed $8.7 million into the program, which leveraged $22 million from your industry investments. And OAMP has now 100 projects, either underway or completed under the program, and that is expected to create 600 new jobs for workers in Ontario. And that brings us to today's announcement. Today we're very thrilled to announce the relaunch of OAMP, and our government is investing an additional $12 million in the auto parts companies to boost competitiveness and position, 12 million more. That's going to position Ontario as the North American center for building the car of the future. You know, the renewal of this program is an important cornerstone in our recently, as the Premier said, Phase 2 of Driving Prosperity. This ambitious plan underscores our continued commitment to building the auto industry of the future right here in Ontario. Phase 2 of Driving Prosperity will continue to strengthen Ontario's innovation capacity and robust part supply chain and capitalize on our highly skilled, talented workforce. You know, just last week, as you heard, just last week at GM in Markham, we announced an investment of $56 million into OVIN, the Ontario Vehicle Innovation Network. And this network is Ontario's flagship initiative to accelerate research and development all across the province in electric, low-carbon, connected, and autonomous vehicle technology. And while we're talking about Oven, Flavio, it would be hard not to give a shout-out to APMA's Project Aero. Congratulations on that. We're thrilled that Oven is a partner in Project Aero, the first all-Canadian ZEV, zero-emission vehicle. But I'm telling you something you already know. It'll be designed, engineered, built through the joint efforts of our world-class auto supply sector and our post-secondary institutions, predominantly here in the province of Ontario. We have bold objectives to increase electric vehicle development capacity, support future thinking and industry-focused R&D led by world-class academic institutions, many who are here today, ensure that the supporting EV supply chain is present and growing, and pave the way for new OEM North American final EV assembly mandates in Ontario. Good one to add. The auto industry is being reinvented around electric and autonomous vehicles, and Ontario has what it takes up and down every aspect of the supply chain to transform our auto sector and ensure, as Premier said, everyone in every region of Ontario benefits from the long-term growth and success. The next phase of driving prosperity will help the sector pivot to manufacturing the electric vehicle of the future and electric batteries those vehicles need. It is anchored by the objective to maintain and grow Ontario's auto sector. You've heard that from the Premier, 400,000 electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles by 2030. Look, we'll be there for you. You've heard the Premier loud and clear. We were there for you in the beginning when we got elected. We heard you about the $7 million. We will support our electric vehicle manufacturers. We will support our electric vehicle battery manufacturers. We will support through Oven, Connect and Autonomous. We will support through OAMP, the parts suppliers, and we will support the critical minerals. That's the story of driving prosperity, and that's thanks to Premier Duncan. Thank you, everybody.